Hello everyone, welcome back. I have another Cape Cod layout for you today. This is going to be a single page, and I was watching Jima Malmi's channel, and she used this paper to photograph some sunset pictures, and I was so inspired, and it reminded me that I have sunset photos on the beach. This is my son and his girlfriend, and I thought these pictures were really sweet, and so this is going to be perfect for this particular paper pack. And I have some scraps here. I've already been creating with this. I have several layouts here on my channel. These two papers were with the workshop only. So there is a Cape Cod scrapbooking workshop where you get bonus die cuts and bonus pattern papers like these. And then there is just the paper pack and sticker sheet. So I just wanted to make sure that you knew that was not in the regular paper pack itself. So let me go ahead and clear these out of the way. I've got my Versamat here and a sheet of white daisy. I'm going to adhere this to my Versamat so it's not moving around on me. This will help me just kind of get everything lined up. So we want to make sure that is square to begin with. And you can, if you don't want to use glue dots, you could just use a little washi tape or something of that nature, or even just regular tape runner and then just remove it with a gum adhesive remover when you're done. So I know I want to use this paper here, and it just reminds me of the sunset, especially after seeing Jima's layout. And I really like this kind of soft periwinkle color with the distressing because she is wearing a denim jacket and it just really reminds me of that. And I thought it would be cool to kind of have this to where the sunset is matching up with this pattern paper. So I'm thinking maybe something I could go like this. I'd have enough room for that. If I cut a 6-inch piece here and then overlapped that, that's going to give me room for maybe a title here, or I could put the title here, and journaling, embellishments, lots of room. So yeah, I think I am going to cut this down to 6 inches. I'll be right back. So we can slide this one that is now 6 by 12 underneath there. And then this one, if I put my photos like that, I could go all the way over to the edge like this, or I could just cut it off and have the white there. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I want to do. Maybe I do want a little white. I do. I am going to cut this down so that I have even borders on either side. I ended up cutting this to 10.5 by 8.5 to accommodate my photos. Let's see how this looks. So I'll put that one right there, this one here, and yeah, I think that's going to work really well. I have this sticker from the sticker sheet, Wild and Free, Just Like the Sea, and I thought that that was definitely a suiting title for these two, and just living life, having so much fun. So I could put this, I don't want to cover too much of the photo. I could go off to the side here, but I really do kind of like it there. I put foam tape on the back of this, so it is not going to be permanent. I can just kind of move it around until I take that backing off. I think I'm going to rough up the edges of this. I've got my little edge distresser tool. You can do this with scissors too, and it's just going to give it kind of a weathered, worn look, a little texture if you will. And you can use the back side of your scissors so you don't dull your blade, but I'll go ahead and get that done off camera, but you can see I'm just distressing the edge there. I'll be right back. Okay, that is looking good, and you know what? I'm going to go ahead and commit and adhere it down. We're just going to go with it. A little bit of tape runner here. Line that up probably about, oh, yeah, right there looks good. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I have like a whole little bowl full of Cape Cod embellishments I've been creating with. Some of these are the paperboard shapes that come from the Cape Cod die cuts, and then I have some stickers from the sticker sheet and even some stamped images from the Cape Cod scrapbooking stamp. This one is really cool. I was thinking about these for titles too. They're not swimming in the sea, but you can, this one says you can find me, and it's a little banner, and it looks nice over any of these. So you can find me swimming in the sea, playing in the sand, or soaking up the sun. I could do the playing in the sand. That would work too, but I do like this one. too many choices, right? So lots of things here. There's even the acrylic embellishments, and these look like sea glass. They're so pretty, and they're nice and thin. So I've got those to create with. But yeah, I'm thinking I might mat those. Let's look at the other pattern paper actually. So I was thinking about bringing in one of these pattern papers to maybe add another paper layer, and that's the same color, so I don't want to do that. I've got the stripes, but I don't really want to put the stripes with the stripes. I've got just a little bit of this wood grain paper, which is nice. That actually brings out the tones in the photo. I may incorporate a little bit of that. And I was thinking of maybe matting, this photo. You know, I like that, but you really don't appreciate much of the pattern. You're covering up quite a bit of it. Tough decision. Let me see if I have a scrap of this one. I did have one already cut into. I did not want to cut up a whole piece of paper just for this photo mat, so I'm glad that I had a scrap and I could make that work. My son is wearing kind of a charcoal color flannel, so I want to bring in this charcoal color to ink up the edges of my photos. So I printed them with the white border, but I thought it would look nice to have just a hint of a darker color going around the edge of these. So these two are in Santa Cruz quite a bit. My son's a mountain biker, and Santa Cruz is a mountain biker's paradise, and she has family there, so they're there quite often for one reason or another, and I'm so glad that they shared these photos with me. And even though I wasn't there, it's still a memory, and you know, it's part of what was going on at the time. So I love to document, you know, photos that Desiree sends to me. I'm so appreciative because my son he's not very good about sending me pictures. I have to like snag him off his Instagram or something like that. But yeah, this is just going to help these stand out a little bit here. I do get lots of questions about what printer I use. I do have a video, and I will leave that linked in the description box below, but I use the Epson PictureMate 400, and I print all my photos at home, and I would not change a thing. I love the flexibility and the quality, and I think I save money because I only print what I scrapbook. Before, I'd send them all away and get, you know, more photos than I needed because I wasn't sure, and then I'd end up having to store them because I felt bad and didn't want to throw them away. So this definitely works for me, and as I mentioned, the quality is phenomenal. If it broke, I'd run out tomorrow and buy another one, no hesitation, because it's just that good. Let's go ahead and get everything adhered into place, and then we can start embellishing. Let me do this one first since it's the bottom layer, and I want to make sure that it's on the same line as that orangey nectarine color. Then we can bring in this one and layer it over the corner right about, that looks good right there. So we can put our title right here, overlapping the photo just a bit. And then I want to add something kind of linear, and I was thinking maybe these fences. I've got a whole bunch. These came in the paperboard shapes, and I thought these were pretty cute. There is a digital design also where you can get these as SVGs and cut them out on your Cricut or your Silhouette. Let's see what this looks like. This is the fun part because you just get to try things and play around, right? And I think if we put those together, no one will know that it's two separate pieces. I like how they're kind of wavy and wonky too. That looks cute. I like that. We've got lots of fun things to create with. I've been using this stamped coral, which is from the stamp set there. And I love that it has different shading in. This is the Lagoon color, which is what the title is. So that's kind of nice over here. And then I do want to use this piece as well because it's really pretty. What if we put this, let's go under the photo. See, this is exactly what I do. So that's why I never put the adhesive all the way out there. Kind of layer those two over each other. And then I want something kind of to layer right here. I've got tons of shells. There's this little crab. It's a little bit bright. This is the Bluebird color. I don't really have any of that elsewhere on the layout, so maybe not go with that one. The Periwinkle is much softer. That's very pretty. We've also got this little circular crab sticker. That could work. I do want to bring in some of the, look, we could bump this one out a little bit more and then bridge the gap with the little crab. I've got Beach Babe, and I'm not going to use that on a photo of myself, so I might as well use it. That'll work here. Desiree's the Beach Babe. And let's see here. Just tons of shells. These are from the card making workshop. I've showed this, you know, I showed several cards that I created, and you can just die cut out these little shells, and they're so pretty. There's sea stars and all sorts of different shells. Let me see if I have an example of each of them. So you have sand dollars, this style shell, and it puts the detail lines in, and that's what I was super excited about. There's a couple others too, but I've already used those. There's like a bigger shell, but I don't have any examples unless I make some more. But yeah, lots of pretty little things. Let's see. So fun to just kind of cluster these. I do want to bring a little orange over to the other side. Let's put those there for now. And I was thinking maybe a seahorse, but what if we stamped them in this color, just like I said, to draw that over to this side of the layout. I've got nectarine ink. I think that's going to coordinate beautifully. And a piece of scrap white daisy paper. It's practically garbage, but I think I can squeeze one more die cut shape out. So anytime you're stamping, you want to use this foam piece that comes with all of Close to My Heart stamps. Let me go ahead and get this little guy mounted on a block, and then place that foam piece underneath your paper, or if you have a second Versamat, you can flip that over and use the back side. And then we'll just get this little guy nice and inky. And then give him a second to soak into the paper. You never want to lift up your stamp right away. You'll get a better impression when you just hold it there for a moment. I know I say this all the time, but I just love stamps because you can change up the ink color to make them match your layout. Do you see the detailing in that seahorse? So cool. I think that's going to look great. Let me go ahead and get him die cut off camera. Let's see if this looks how I am envisioning. And yeah, I think that's going to be perfect to draw that color over. Let's go ahead and commit. We'll remove the foam tape backing and get this tacked down. You know what? I can't help it. I'm going to ink up the edges. You know, every time I tell myself I'm not going to do that because I do it on everything, I just stick it down and then I find myself prying it up or trying to ink it up on the layout, which is never good. I don't recommend doing it that way. So it's like, don't fight it. Don't fight it. Just embrace it, and it just makes me happy. So now that I've popped that up, I'm going to have to add a little bit of foam tape to the back side of my seahorse so that he is on the same elevation as the title. You may not notice, but I actually peeled this whole layer up and bumped it over a ½ inch because I felt that these were just a little too choked against the edge of the layout. So I did just shift that a little bit. And I put foam tape on the back of him. Now, my friend Laura created a layout. She's got some fabulous layouts featuring this collection, and her channel is called Ink and Whimsy, and she's a hoot. If you haven't watched her, she is very relatable, so I'll leave her channel listed in the description box below. You can go ahead and check her out for even more inspiration. But I'm going to go ahead and stick this little guy down, and I like the way she put his little belly under, his little nose over, and yeah, just like that. We don't want to cover Desiree's face. That would be mean. Rather than these die cut shapes here, I want to add my acrylic pieces and get these onto a layout because they are so pretty. I love this soft periwinkle color, and again, they just look like sea glass. Let's try layering this underneath the fence and see what that looks like. That looks good. And then I want to draw it up over to the upper right hand corner, so maybe we can just kind of layer it under the seahorse and the title. Let me rotate that a little bit. I do like the sea star. I kind of want to use that. Maybe there. Is that too much? Let's try it here instead of the shell. And maybe down here. Maybe up here. It's just move it around until something clicks, right? Now we still need some of this color down in the lower right hand corner. So maybe if we use one of these smaller shells. Actually, I know what I'm going to do. Let's remove the adhesive foam dot from the back of the seahorse, and then the shell will be what is propping the seahorse up. And that way it's a little bit more layered because I don't have a whole lot of room over in this area of the layout. I'm going to call this layout done. I went ahead and got all of my acrylic pieces adhered down with micro glue dots. That is my favorite way to get those attached to your layout. And I am loving the colors and how well they complement the sunset in the photos. Don't they look happy on the beach there? Now I am going to get the details and write that right here. I need to talk to Desiree. It'll just be the who, what, when, and where. I don't have a lot, but yeah, I'm going to put that right there. I'll probably type that up and add it in strips right here. I think that'll look good. But yeah, everything I used to create this layout, you can find that in the description box below, along with those recommended videos we talked about. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and take a moment to hit that thumbs up button. It does help me out quite a bit here on YouTube. Thanks so much for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye.